What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Indeed, this was the key advantage for their side, systematically dismantling the enemy's forces through targeted assaults. Repeated attacks would ensure victory. Moreover, once Rimuru bases were eliminated, the siege would be complete. While Ramirez's labyrinth held many secrets, possibly offering multiple exits, stopping their operations would be a significant win. Though strategic supplies might still enter, once isolated, their influence would wane. However, capturing Veldora's dragon factor was the ultimate goal, so they couldn't just sit back and wait. Michael decided to bring the situation to that point before methodically planning their next move. This strategy might be sound, but Dino had his doubts.
Wait a minute, Milam is Veldanava-sama's daughter. Are you aware of that?
He voiced his concern indignantly, but Michael remained calm.
Is there an issue?
He asked, his expression unchanged.
An issue? I mean, won't this anger Veldanava-sama?
Dino's concern was natural. Attacking Milam felt like betraying Veldanava. What was Michael thinking? Yet, Michael seemed utterly unconcerned, as did Feldway.
Dino, I know. Demon Lord Milam is Veldanava-sama's daughter, but she, like us, was created by him.
It was clear Michael and Feldway's loyalty was solely to Veldanava, with no affection for his daughter. Jahil seemed to share this sentiment, smirking mockingly at Dino. Having suffered Milam's wrath before, he relished the idea of invading Eurasania. Dino's objections, which could jeopardize this plan, did not interest Jahil. This mindset is why Obara betrayed us, Dino thought. If he didn't act, he might be labeled a traitor. Feldway then addressed him.
Don't worry, Dino. If I am wrong, Veldanava will return to correct it. If his daughter is in danger, he will come to her aid. This validates my actions.
With that, Dino had nothing left to say. His old friend was gone. If he had realized this sooner, he might have escaped. He regretted it deeply. Thus, the outline of the Tenma Great War was established and executed. On that day, the world was plunged into chaos by a great calamity that would dramatically alter its course.
Volume 19, Chapter 2. The Beginning of the Great War, Part 1.
After our discussion that night, it was decided that Kigali and Tyr would stay in my country's custody. Since Tyr was still unconscious, it was safer to care for her in the labyrinth, allowing us to gather detailed information and check for any malicious intent. Naturally, Kigali stayed with her. I accepted both without complaint. Sylvia returned to Sarian. While she would have been a valuable warrior, her priority was Sarian and her daughter. I couldn't force her to stay, so we promised to cooperate if needed. I gave her a cell phone, though El-Tan already had one, ensuring multiple communication methods. The demon's ring wasn't universally reliable, so having backup was wise. After exchanging contact information, I saw Sylvia off. Now, I was back in my office, drowning in paperwork, almost feeling like my life had returned to normal. Just seeing the piles of documents made my anger toward Feldway spike by 30%. It wasn't like I was slacking off, yet the endless proposals and meeting notes needing my approval were overwhelming. I decided to postpone reviewing the meeting notes, as they had already been addressed. I focused on the new projects requiring approval, swiftly deciding which were acceptable. I was busy, but it was necessary. In 2 days, the World Conference would be held in the Kingdom of Ingratia. Yes, a World Conference, the first of its kind. The Emperor of the Eastern Empire participating in the Western States Council was unprecedented. I was supposed to meet Murmiles in the Kingdom of Bloomond and travel together. But an unexpected invasion of Leon's country derailed our plans, leaving me to catch up on these documents. With that behind me, I could finally relax with some tea. I needed to calm down and gather my thoughts before the big event.
Rimuru-sama, here's your tea.
Diablo, not Shuna, brought the tea. He was working hard as a secretary while Shion was away.
Thank you. Why don't you take a break with me?
I encouraged Diablo to sit across from me. He looked honored, but I ignored it and began the conversation.
So, what's your take on Feldway?
From what I'd seen, he seemed unpopular. Dino wouldn't have betrayed him so easily otherwise. I needed more information about our enemy. Understanding their character helps gauge their limits and strategies. Knowing he was cautious, I asked Diablo for more insights. After a moment, Diablo replied.
He's very serious, hard-headed and inflexible. Once he decides on something, he won't change his mind. He doesn't consider others' opinions, which split his peers' views of him.
In other words, he's an easy boss for yes-men who follow orders without question. But for creative, talented people, he's a frustrating leader who ignores their ideas. If your opinions are consistently dismissed without explanation, it can breed resentment.
Anything else?
Diablo pondered for a moment, muttering, "That's right," before sharing something unexpectedly crucial. To put it simply, it was about how to travel between their base and our world. The aggressors were altered versions of those banished by Veldanava and their angelic overseers. Their base was in the otherworld. The connection between the otherworld and our world, the cardinal world, was through a special force field called the Underworld Gate, with several scattered around the globe. They were not just guarded but controlled by demons. Interestingly, they were expanding their influence around the Underworld Gate. The only known gate still standing was the one guarded by Carrera, near Leon's territory. The gates once protected by Testarossa and Ultima had vanished following a major battle.
It's better this way. Traveling to the otherworld with your body leads to contamination and transformation. Those who cross over from there are almost always aggressors.
Diablo explained this with bitterness. Essentially, destroying the gates was preferable since they only brought disorder. Testarossa and Ultima didn't like that idea. They had been gatekeepers for a long time, but when Diablo scouted them, the gate was broken, making them easy recruits. I thought, that can't be right, but kept it to myself. As evidence, the gate Carrera guarded also seemed broken. Currently, the gates were unattended because one needed immense power to traverse them. I secretly believed the gates were intentionally destroyed. But back to the main issue, Diablo wondered how Feldway and his group entered our world. Diablo speculated that a new gate might have appeared somewhere in the Empire.
Or maybe they repaired the gate Testarossa once guarded.
I can't rule that out, but the timing of Feldway's arrival in the Empire doesn't fit. Another gate must exist.
That made sense.
So, you think the aggressor's base is inside the Empire?
I asked, but Diablo had a different concern.
No, it's more than that. Based on Kigali's story, Feldway has undoubtedly opened the gates to the Heavenly Star Palace. You need a key to open it.
The Heavenly Star Palace, the place of beginnings and Veldanava's birthplace, I recalled. As Kigali explained, Feldway's base was adjacent to all worlds. Diablo's concern was about obtaining the key.
It's pointless to worry about how they got it. What matters is that passing through the gates of the Heavenly Star Palace lets you enter the Cardinal World with a body from the other world.
I was glad I didn't voice my thoughts because they were off the mark. But what did he mean by the body from the other world?
Of the primordial angels, only Feldway was given a body by Veldanava-sama. The current one is a temporary vessel, so killing it achieves nothing.
Is this like Velgrin's parallel existence?
No, it's different. It's not a constant connection but a split consciousness. He likely syncs his memories periodically, so it's not inconvenient.
This made him a troublesome opponent, Diablo explained. From what I understood, Velgrind was like synchronized computers connected to the internet, while Feldway was like computers offline, with data periodically transferred.
That's correct. In other words, space-time continuous attack won't reach the main body, making him very troublesome.
I see, that's very troublesome.
So, unless we go to where his main body is, we can't defeat Feldway. That's certainly troublesome. But, wait, if his main body comes to us, wouldn't that be convenient?
Instead of searching for him, it would be easier if he came to us. That's what I thought, but it wasn't that simple. Diablo replied.
Yes, but he's extremely powerful. His main body's combat ability might even surpass Guy's. That's why we need to prepare for any possibility.
The body Veldanava had gifted Feldway was his greatest treasure. To protect it, Feldway usually occupied a temporary body. However, there was always the risk he might change his approach. We couldn't let a single idea from the enemy disrupt our plans, especially not from a force that's significant.
A serious Guy is on par with Velzard. So, Feldway must be comparable to a true dragon, right?
Exactly.
Diablo confirmed. He mentioned that Feldway had been a formidable opponent in the past. Although he wasn't as notorious as the insect lord Zelanus or the world-destroying dragon Ivaraj, it didn't mean he was weak. The measurements of his power in the labyrinth weren't accurate without his true form. Thus, Feldway's real strength remained unknown.
I'm relying on you, but you'll be okay, right?
I intended to leave Feldway to Diablo. Learning that Feldway's true strength was akin to a true dragon was surprising, but I trusted Diablo. No, could it be too much? Yet, Diablo responded to my concern with a broad smile.
I am deeply honored, Rimuru-sama. I will strive to meet your expectations.
Oh, this looks promising. Diablo might be overconfident, but he never takes on tasks he can't handle. He might not win, but he believes he can manage Feldway. If so, it would be foolish for me to worry. It's always better to have a trusted subordinate handle such a challenging opponent. So, I decided to let Diablo proceed as planned. Now understanding Feldway's threat, I wondered about his next move.
What do you think he'll do next?
It's hard to say, but knowing Feldway's personality, he's likely to target Masayuki Dono.
The unexpected answer surprised me, but I couldn't ignore it. Initially, I thought targeting Masayuki was pointless, but reconsidered. Why would Masayuki be a target? They might suspect he's Rudra's reincarnation and want him dead. Velgrin's affection for Masayuki hinted at this. Feldway likely feared Rudra more than Masayuki. The reason was unclear, but it wasn't surprising that Masayuki could be a target.
I don't think the reason matters. Feldway is stubborn and won't admit his mistakes. He won't give up after one failure.
Diablo's straightforward comment convinced me further.
The next meeting might be risky. Velgrin-san will be escorting him, so unless something goes wrong, we should be fine. But stay alert.
Please rest assured, I am always perfectly prepared for anything.
That's why I trust Diablo. Despite his personality, he's an excellent worker. His rival, Shion, was on a business trip, so I wasn't worried about him. As Diablo and I continued our detailed discussion, identifying any concerns, we received alarming news.
There's a big problem, Rimuru.
Milam's voice, hinting at trouble, came through.
What's the matter?
Abra has escaped.
Oh?
She was caught betraying Feldway and fought with Michael.
This wasn't something to discuss over the telepathy net via Demon's Ring. So, I decided to visit Milam directly.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Justa Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sankas Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Kamal Ebanks, Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Ekotski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibul, Potate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, The Harv, Mike Roch, Matthew Abraham, Drayden Yamauchi. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.